So as discussed in the previous video, we'll talk about the manual data mapping for organizations. Good for small businesses, and let's see how it is done. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where you daily see new content on data privacy. And as I said, that we are going to talk about the manual data mapping today, which will be followed subsequently by automatic data mapping in the coming days, maybe tomorrow. What is data mapping? The process of identifying, categorizing, and tracking what data does your organization have. How is it getting collected? Or rather, what data is being collected, stored, processed, shared with third parties, and deleted, right? How is paused for the time being because we are now addressing or trying to understand the basic processes. How does the data being processed and how does it move across the entire organization? So one way of doing that is manually. Manually means you're not using any automation tools. Trying to find out through manual interactions with people. Right? You interview each stakeholder, each position, what data each position uses. Then you automatically come to know whether the data already exists in the organization or does it get collected. What is the frequency or trigger map for collections? And I link it again with the HR thing. Well, there's a new position coming. Do I already have data? Maybe some CVs are there. Are they outdated? Depending on the HR decision. So the HR decides to call and therefore they start collecting new data, right? That's the beginning point. They are collecting the data now. So you need to understand what data are each individual's positions collecting, how are they processing, where are they storing, and then you start mapping them. Like for example, in case of employees, you collect the profiles, the resumes, you call for interviews, so you collect the interview feedback, right? So they are interconnected somewhere, mapped somewhere, right? Then when you hire the person, you create appointment letters and all, that's fine, they are with you. But then when it comes to salary transfer, there's a payroll and there's a banking information. So they all need to be mapped together. These may be collected by a single person, but there has to be a map, and at least two people will be involved, even in a small organization, one who is doing the HR, one who is doing the finance to transfer the amount. So HR may also be doing the payrolls and calculations and provident funds and everything, but then finance and HR, at least two departments, right? So document what all you are collecting, how are you using them, use spreadsheets to create those processes, use flowcharts to document the flows, tag where is the personal data, and we are doing all this manually. Where is the personal data? Where is sensitive personal data? Where is just the name and where is the banking information, right? Document them well and keep them ready for further assessments if in case. Well, you would actually need PIs at least, privacy impact assessments, right? What are the advantages of doing it manually? Very low cost. Very simple. Anyone would say manual, matlab, we are not spending money on software, so it is low cost. Yes, it is. But I personally feel more than that, it is even deeper to understand the business process and spread the awareness between your team as to why are you trying to understand the process. They will know that you are trying to pick up and see where is the personal data and how good that personal data handling should be done. What are the precautions to be taken in future if you want to be compliant with risk, right? So it helps you get deeper understanding of your business, helps you better document and optimize your processes as well, whether it's just about collection and mapping, whether it's about the overall processing in your organization. So it's a very, very advantageous thing. Having said that, this does not mean that automated ones are not that good, but doing it manually, understanding it manually, documenting it with your own hands always give you a better understanding of the overall operations of your business. When it comes to challenges, well, you are doing it manually. So it's a long job. So time consumption. Time consumption in terms of people involvement, everyone is involved and everyone is making an effort, so everyone's time is involved. Time consumption also because everything is happening manually, so you are taking longer time to actually get it executed. Sometimes it is difficult to get data. You need to make more effort than what you thought of, but then it's very, very important, right? And for practically, it could be difficult to get deeper into the data about the types of mapping. So if you get into a granular one, how do you do that when you are on a manual data mapping kind of a situation, right? You can do it. It is not that it is not possible. And again, since you are expecting manual data mapping to be done by smaller organizations, then the number of databases and the quantum of data in them, or number of fields and rows and tables inside them would also not be very large. And manual data mapping, of course, is prone to human error. Slightly difficult to scale as the number of databases would increase. Every task will become more and more difficult to handle. So, what are the best practices that are involved when you are handling manual scanning of your personal data or mapping of your personal data? First of all, define a very clear objective. This is what we want to do, and this is the purpose of it. Spread that to the entire community, including stakeholders. Now, spreading and communicating does not mean that you put it as just a diktat. You need to explain them that this is a compliance issue, that there has been too much of misuse of personal data outside, therefore we want to be more secure, and before being secure or for being secure, we need to understand. You also need to tell your team that automatically it can be done, but it's more costlier affair, right? So you want to do a cost-effective method. Assign responsibilities to each stakeholders. Using a standardized template would be very helpful. Because if there are two different departments, again, if you talk of HR and finance, and if they both use databases and they both have an employee ID, right? So if you have a standard way of documenting those fields, it's easier for you to understand, it's easier for you to interconnect or create a map between the two. And if it's not standardized, then it is difficult everywhere. Connecting, creating maps, making others understand about those maps, right? Conduct workshops with the process owners. They should understand what they are doing and how they are handling it. Create a visual data flow diagram across it. Verify the accuracy of the system. Remove all the redundancies. It's also a good way of optimizing your environment. And ensure that this mapping aligns with regulatory compliances. Document and regularly update each one of them on any possible changes that you see in the environment. So these are some of the best practices of handling manual data mapping. You may find that there are a bit of them which are common with automatic as well, but then data mapping best practices. So that's about manual data mapping. We'll talk about the automated data mapping in the next video. I hope you like the content of this video. Please press the bell and the like icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.